Hello, world, and welcome to the Common Sense Man's News and Talk Show on this Tuesday, January 30th, 2018. And we're going to discuss news in a common sense way. I get my news from different sources on the internet, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, USA Today, and I'm adding one today, the BBC. Thought we'd bring a little international flair to this program. And then I get my sports from ESPN, TMZ for entertainment, travel and leisure for travel and leisure news. So let's start today. We're going to start with Fox News, but before we get to that, again, you can email your comments or suggestions to commonsenseman@gmail.com. That's common with a K. Or call in. Let's discuss a topic. Any topic you want to talk about, let's discuss it in a common sense way. Get it on the air. Get it on the open. Let's get some talking going on here. That would be calling through my Skype number 805-994-0606. Okay, topping the news on Fox, the quote is, "It cost us our business." What are they referring to? It's the DOG's offensive and civil forfeiture. So, in other words, when they suspect that someone's in money laundering or whatever, they just forfeit all their stuff, whether it be assets or anything. And this is the main topic on this one is Alabama car dealer Jamie Verbit is one of the people who find himself caught up in law enforcement policy that allows government to take assets from citizens without due process. And what happened with this gentleman, he sold 2 cars for cash that was apparently he was unaware of it, that it was drug dealing money. So they forfeited that, and basically his business went out of business because no one wanted to do business with him. He got vindicted of those charges later, but the damage was done. So that is an interesting process, that it's without any due process, that the government could just come in without anything and just take your stuff and then worry about it later. That is a serious thing that should be dealt with. I'm agreeing 100% with that. Moving over to CNN, top news, and this is top news on most of the sites, pretty much top news, not on Fox, which we'll get to that later, but three CEOs want to shake up the healthcare system. And who are we talking about? Jeff Bezos, Amazon, Warren Buffett, and Jamie Dimon want to fix healthcare. And these are the big, they own Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway,
politics, plans, and
JP
proposals
Morgan.
aside,
They want to establish their own health care for all their employees, then shake everything up. So they have over 1 million employees. Very interesting. Again, that is kind of top news on most of the sites, except for Fox, where I found it way down at the bottom, which is I thought was kind of interesting. Moving over to CNBC. Dow skids as much as 300 points as stocks stumble for second straight day. So there you go. Hopefully that will level out and everything will be better on that. Moving over to USA Today. Not much different than the couple things we just spoke about. So there you go. Now here we go. Here's our first BBC news, and their top news is it's a picture of Putin and Mr. Trump. It says Putin says U.S. list targets all Russians. Now, what are they referring to? There's Russian President Vladimir Putin says a list of officials and businessmen close to the Kremlin published by the U.S. has in effect targeted all Russian people. And what he's referring to is this list of 210 names as part of sanctions law aimed to punishing Moscow for meddling in the U.S. election. I don't know much about all that stuff, but this is what's the top news on the BBC. So we're just trying to get a little different flair, a little different input here from the international side of it. Moving over to sports, if you have not heard, big trade in basketball. Blake Griffin traded to the Clippers in a blockbuster deal, and what it is the Clippers will receive Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, Boban Marjanovic, and a first and second round draft pick. The Clippers are also sending Bryce Johnson and Willie Reed along with Mr. Blake Griffin. It's a pretty big deal. I like Blake Griffin. Haven't seen much of him in the news or anything because I guess the Clippers aren't really doing that great. Here's one last thing on sports I thought was interesting. Americans expect to wager $4.7 billion on the Super Bowl coming up here. 4.7 on Super Bowl 52. That is Super Bowl L11. That is the Roman numeral for 52, in case you didn't know. Moving over to the entertainment news, my favorite, because I don't know a lot about all this stuff. Meek Hill, don't know who that is. Court clerk fired after asking for money during trial. The trial that he was just in, where he got sentenced to 2 to 4 years. The court recorder there handed him a note, and it has a note here online asking him for some money. Wow, I think she's going to be in trouble. And here's another sex allegation story, because they're just coming out of everywhere. Nicole Eggert, don't know who that is, told Dr. Oz, my man, doctor, how Scott Baio allegedly lured her into sex. And she's referring to when he started extremely physical when she was 14, and then had sex when she was 17. Baio strongly denies that they had anything. So that's just reading the news. Don't shoot the messenger. Moving over to travel news. This is interesting. This is what I found on Travel and Leisure. This new Swedish fitness trend is good for both you and the environment. What are they talking about? It's called plogging, and it's a Swedish trend of jogging and picking up litter as you go. Jogging and picking up litter as you go. That's fantastic. Fantastic. It is, and here's the deal about Sweden. I'm just going to tell you just one last thing on Sweden. They are badass when it comes to recycling and all this stuff. So they are. And here's a quote I'll read here. It's not all surprising that this movement comes from Sweden, where the recycling policy is so efficient. The country is very near its goal of being completely waste-free. Completely waste-free. So now this shit like this, hearing this from countries like that, when you hear the thing, make America good again, let's do shit like this. Let's do stuff like this. Can you believe that a country like that being waste-free? Just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Okay, last but not least, I just wanted to reflect on the what we're talking about. Since I've been doing this, getting news from 4 or 5 different news places, it is interesting to see what they push and what you don't see. And what I'm referring to is this kind of big news of these 3 CEOs wanting to start their own healthcare, basically. On most of the sites, it's top news. But on Fox, and I'm not bashing Fox, it is like way, 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 way down there, like hidden. Like they don't want you to see that. Why? I don't understand that. Why it would be big news on other ones and just kind of thrown in the bottom on Fox. So it's just it's very interesting. It's wherever you get your news from, that's going to dictate how you think of things. And I don't know if I agree 100% with that. And on that note, I'm going to read a little excerpt from one of my Facebook friends' quotes. And this, again, I'm not trying to bash anyone, I'm just reading it. It says, Australia and New Zealand ban Fox News because it is correctly classified as propaganda in both those democracies. Take that for what you will. That is just a quote I'm reading from my Facebook buddies. And that's going to end it today on this Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday. And again, please subscribe to my channel, The Common Sense Man's News and Talk Show. And call in to my Skype, 805-994-0606, or email commonsenseman@gmail.com, and that is common with a K. Have a great rest of your day.